Hey friends, I'm just putting our parchment in our dish for brownies in a minute. There we go, that's got something going for it there. There we go. I don't want the parchment to curl right into the dough. We'll handle that in a sec. But we're gonna start off. I'm gonna start off by pouring a cup of tea. Hey Max, how are you? I hope you like our topic today. Well, our prep anyway. Oh, Ruffles, hello. Oh, thank you so much for the resub. It's very kind of you, Ruffles. I know you haven't been able to be here a lot too, so please never feel like you need to sub or even lurk if you aren't able to, but I do appreciate that a lot. Yes, Max, so I got everything, I think. So I did get Cornish butter because let's be honest, I'm cheap. And anything cheaper, anything more expensive than like the cheap butter, everyone says it makes a difference. I know that, I get that. My grocery bill's gone up like 50% just with inflation. So like I can't be buying the bougie butter, you know what I mean? I felt a little bad, but not bad enough to buy expensive butter. If I lived in Wisconsin, that would be different, right? I would have dairy right outside my door. Instead, I've got hamburger. Thanks, Texas. I've also not bought Crisco in a long time, but it says lard or white shortening, and this is the only white shortening I know. So, oh no, that's the frozen butter. We have a less, well, it's still cold, it's just not. No, they're all frozen, aren't they? Ugh. Being cheap is just keeping to the theme of British cuisine. How shady can I make this whole dish with like subpar ingredients? Excellent. I don't know. I mean, like there's a lot of, well, let's say with the pastry culture in Britain, I think you have two camps. You have like pure British, but then you have like French British, and that's like the good stuff. So it's not always that way, but I'm glad you're coming with me on that one. Oh, I keep forgetting. Wearing my necklace again and it just whacks my microphone. So, well good, we'll just do this however we can do this. So I have to make the short crust pastry, and then I'm going to actually dice up all of the insides of it as well, and those will just go into the fridge until tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll create them and bake them and eat them for dinner. So tonight we're having kolache. So I got my kolache dough because I made a big batch, and so I have these from the freezer. And so I'll end up making sausage and cheese kolaches tonight. So I do this a lot. Make part of it, later make the actual dish. But I'm looking forward to the Cornish pasties quite a bit. It'll be neat. And I found a rutabaga, so fantastic. Would have never ever thought to look for a rutabaga at the HEB, but turned out okay. All right, so this is we're gonna make the dough first. I need to get rid of my ring for the moment. Gonna get pretty gross. I didn't do the math to find out how much gluten I need to add to 500 grams of flour, but I'm gonna probably add a tablespoon because this does want basically the equivalent of bread flour, which is perfect, right? You wanna make a big, strong pie crust, like a big doughy crust. I'm actually gonna get the flour, and while I'm here, I should probably grab the sugar. I got out some of it, but not all of it. Had a busy day. I did lots of things. So it's a good feeling coming into stream and then knowing there's only a couple of things left I have to do after stream to get done, you know, check off my list. Hey Ginger, how are you? Max sounds like Rook, I bake ya. It is back here. Let's have a look at our rutabaga. I mean, to me, it's large. Like it's bigger than most potatoes. So here's our rutabaga. This is I guess they grow this way. It's very waxy. It actually may be covered in food grade wax maybe. We peel it anyway, so I'm not worried. It just says Canada on it. We've got a Canadian rutabaga for our pasty tomorrow. But starting with the dough, driving home, but you're excited to listen to what you're making tonight. Thank you, Ginger. I am very happy to have you here. We're gonna start with the short crust dough. It said rough puff can also be used, and I was like, I only remember that from British Bake Off, and that sounded like a lot. I was intimidated. Wrong drawer, completely wrong drawer. All right, gluten. I love this. I love that you can just buy a whole bag of gluten. It's messy, you can tell. And then you just buy AP flour, and then you make bread flour. Strong flour, as this recipe suggests. So strong. I hope that's enough. Usually I add oh, actually it's not. So usually I add a teaspoon per cup, and this is about 4 cups. So I'll put in another teaspoon, since the tablespoon's equivalent to 3 teaspoons. If you don't know your conversions from teaspoons to tablespoons, I think by listening to my stream long enough, it'll just soak into your brain. Like the kiddo did some measurement for part of her science today, because I like to mix it up and do all sorts of different kinds of science. Mostly she's doing anatomy and physiology, but she is doing a little bit of the measures of science. Like that's super important, right? So, so she came across, she only had to do a handful of the conversions, but she came across cups to pints. And I don't know when I learned this, but I just have this sing-songy voice in my head: 2 cups and a pint, 2 pints and a quart, 4 quarts and a gallon. Like, it's just 2, 2, 4. It's easy. 2 plus 2 equals 4, 2 pints, 2 quarts, 2 cups, 2 pints, 2 pints for quarts, and then 4 quarts for gallons. Like it just works great in my head. But that doesn't mean it makes sense to anybody else, and trying to teach it is not fun. Does not make sense to anyone else, right? Why would it be that way? Because it's imperial, baby. That's what I say. I might need to get my other 5-pound bag of flour. 500, it's a lot. Actually, that's about it. So we're good. And then I put salt in here. I will, but I need to. Sometimes I wonder if I should switch to iodized, but I haven't yet. It's imperial, baby, exactly right. Sorry, baby. We're imperialists, that's how it is. Like, we're not, we rebelled. But we rebelled, and then we used the same system, and then our overlords changed it for themselves. I don't know. It would be so interesting. Thanks, Ginger. I had this idea about learning American history, which I do not love. And I know I'm a terrible American because of that. But I just don't, especially Revolutionary War history, I'm just like, it's so boring. For no reason. There's no individual reason that I feel that way about it. But I thought we could learn a lot of American history through song, because there are all these, patriotic songs, but you get to learn about different historical figures, and if they are tall tale figures, you get to figure out the culture that they came from and that kind of thing. And there's just a ton, and singing things makes it more fun to me. So, hey Kafia, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. I was talking about making American history fun for my kid, and the other thing I thought about just now when we were talking about measures is it would be fun to look at history through science, because there are certain pockets of scientific discoveries, at least from what I learned. And yeah, it's mostly Europe-centric, but somebody knocked at the door and totally distracted me. But there are things along the way that you can study that have, again, things to do with the political climate at the time, the socioeconomic climate, what wars are going on, that kind of thing, through the scientific discovery led to this one, led to this one, led to this one. So, ways to teach history that I don't hate is what I'm looking for. Max, you know about history with the British imperial system. I don't know about all that. Hey, is it your friend? Oh, excuse me, friends. One sec. Okay. All right. So we are going to cut our very cold fats into pieces and warm them up before we do anything else. So I'll get a bowl. I'll get a microwave bowl. So it's not going to be exactly, it's 125 grams of Cornish butter. This is going to be 113 grams of trashy American butter. It's how we're rolling today. So I will cut these up and then we'll measure. We'll get the right weight of fat anyway, so it'll be fine. It just might not be the exact proportion to be the genuine Cornish pasty we're looking for. Okay. All right. It's not quite frozen. It's still pretty tough. The mystery visitor wasn't a mystery, it was our neighbor, so. But she did not require me. Only the child. Crazy. All right, have you seen the poppy seed roll? I did not click on the, I saw it posted in Discord, thank you. I didn't click on it because I had a few too many other things to do today to look into that. I'm sorry, but I will get to it, I promise. I generally do. It's just some days are very quiet days where I can do all the things I want to do. And today was not in any way bad, but just very full. Had to get set up on a system to do some work for some family, and then I had to do a whole other thing for other parts of the family. It's interesting when you get to a certain point and you arbitrate between your parents and your aunts and uncles. Like the younger generation becomes the voice of reason, and the older generation just gets a little bit, they forget how to get along. They forget how to be polite, maybe. I don't know. I think it's because, I think a lot of it has to do with very strong personalities, and then they've all retired from jobs and they're all doing other things with their lives, very important things, but that are not jobs. And I think maybe they forget how to be professional sometimes, especially with family members. So it's different. Your day was also quite stuffed. Pun somewhat intended. Oh, tell me about it, Cappy. What'd you do? Did you make a ravioli? Aren't a ravioli stuffed? Ooh, this smells terrible. Oh, it just smelled so bad when I opened it up. Oh no, I didn't. The trash can smells bad, and I'm just blaming it on the Crisco. I've not had Crisco in ages. I don't tend to use it, but I will. It's this. Oh, I can make my beef pies. Now I have a pie recipe, British school pie, that one, that uses, it calls for lard, but if I can sub white shortening for lard, I'm fine. I was just gonna wait and be a purist and get like actual lard, and I haven't. This is vegetable shortening, I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna want 145 grams total. Oh, this is soft, this is not. So let me go ahead and do my microwave magic on it. It's gonna be way too long. Or it's gonna be perfect, I don't know. It's like Schrodinger's butter. Like you don't know. It's both melted until you observe it. Oh, that's right. I caught you. Did I catch you at the very beginning of your birthday? So you went and celebrated it after you got off stream. That's right. You made a cake, visited your elderly aunt who gave you a present, visited the bank to retrieve your login, which was lost when your cell phone broke, and made roulades. Quite a lot of stuff. I was excited to see the roulades. I have a recipe for that too, but it didn't look the same as yours. So I'll be curious to see how that goes when I get there. But that'll be quite fun. I hope, what kind of cake did you make? I hope your aunt's present was lovely. Okay, we're going for 245. Well, maybe I won't have enough of this to make school pies, but I can get another stick of Crisco if I need to. One more tiny slice, I think, will do it. It did, 245. I love it when that happens. All right, so we'll wrap up this little extra bit of shortening. I mean, I assume I fridge it after this, now that it's open, but it's not a real food. It is a real food. I'm sort of joking. Ooh, I could have used bacon fat too. Bacon fat is a white rendered meat fat thing. It has a taste though, so wouldn't be quite the same. It's a vanilla sponge cake with arak aroma and chocolate mousse between cake layers. Sounds amazing. Tell me more about this aroma. I'm not familiar with that as a flavor or anything, and I need to know. All right, so I do not have a pastry cutter. I did once upon a time, and then I got rid of it, same way I got rid of my potato masher. I do need to ask Irish to buy me the potato masher again, since I've been mashing a lot of potatoes lately and forks are not sufficient. But I do find that 2 butter knives is sufficient for a pastry cutter. So we'll go that route for now. It might take a minute, but we have time. Except my hand is super greasy. It's a type of alcohol your mother uses, type of aroma oil forever, and you picked up her habit. What is it based off of? What makes the alcohol? That's so interesting. I do have several recipes that require Kirsch water, I think, which is a cherry liqueur or essence. And so there's a few that I have. I haven't gotten the alcohol, but nice for using for flavoring. My mom used to make rum balls, and they were so full of rum that you could like smell the alcohol coming off of them. So that was really the only thing we did traditionally in my family with alcohol flavorings, but there's no reason not to do it if you like that, right? Oh, I had tiramisu. We put Kahlua in our tiramisu last week. I had a piece of it today. It's almost gone. It's yummy. My hands are greasy still, so I'm gonna grab onto these knives for dear life. The pastry cutter is the thing that has all the wires, and you just mash it down and it basically does this job real fast. Anise and rice. Rice, that's so interesting. And so it's like a fortified rice wine, fermented rice mash. Okay. All right. I know of rice wine as in sake from Japanese food, but I don't drink it by choice, really. I don't drink much of anything by choice. It's not like somebody's forcing me to. I choose not to drink. But sake was never my go-to anyway. But that's so interesting. Anise is not one of my favorite flavors. When we talk about like black licorice candy, I won't do it. If it's a little bit of anise with other things, cool, not bad at all. Like anise and fennel, they go nice together, and I like them a little bit, but once they get to be strong, I don't. Now with cinnamon though, I said, right? Yesterday, I'll add a bunch of cinnamon, a bunch of garlic. So it's just your choice of strong flavors, I guess. It gives the sponge cake a nice, unique flavor. I bet it does. That's so nice. Somewhat like sake infused with anise. That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. How lovely. What I will get, alcohol-wise, sometimes is a flavored vodka. But I love cherry. I hate cherry vodka. I've never had a good cherry flavored vodka. They all taste like medicine. But lemon flavored vodka is usually, and grapefruit. Grapefruit's quite nice too. So I enjoy the citrus. But of course vodka is quite strong, not just a wine level alcohol. So Now, if I had left the butter frozen, I probably could have worked this with my hands, and I will at some point. But I have really big lumps in here still, so I'm just gonna come and try and cut them through. And I could have used a mixer as well. But as you know, I'm not gonna. I save my mixer for the things that I really can't do by hand, or would just so much prefer not to. This one I don't mind. We're getting some nice crumbs now. We have a few big pieces left. So we're halfway through the week. How is it going? I'll check in with you and see if it's not gone okay so far. Let's make it an awesome week by the end. Let's find a way to do that. For me, it usually means having an extra cup of coffee and maybe cake because I am a simple creature. But if you were gonna treat yourself extra nice, like Capio had the birthday, right? I hope you did treat yourself extra nice for your birthday, Capio. But let's pretend we're all having something nice for Friday or by Friday, and that we will treat ourselves just so nicely and let ourselves have a good time or an extra treat or whatever it is that might help us be in a better place. Maybe it's an extra workout. Maybe it's not taking the phone call that you don't really want to take. Maybe it is finishing the project that's been bothering you because it's hanging over you and you just need to get it done. So just suck it up and get it done, you know? It looks different for each one of us every day. There's this lovely dessert in Poland called Monty. It's hazelnut and cream flavored. There's an alcoholic drink named after the dessert. It's hazelnut vodka with milk. That sounds like it would be good. I agree. We were talking about White Russian a couple of streams ago because it is vodka, Bailey's, and cream. Oh no, sorry, vodka, cream, and Kahlua, but you can put Bailey's in instead of the cream. Any of those sort of like vodka milky with a nutty flavor or one of those nice rich flavors like the Bailey's. That's really nice. I would probably like that a lot. A hazelnut vodka though, that's interesting because usually I think of hazelnut, well, amaretto is almond, isn't it? Frangelica, is that hazelnut liqueur? Hello, attaboy, how are you? I'm gonna take the rutabaga down for a minute. We'll be okay with it back here. So this is crumbs, well, almost. Every time I roll it, I get a few big pieces of fat coming up to the top. So we'll just keep doing that. But I will need 175 mils of cold water. So let me get out my cup measure. Oh, you're at full duty again. Well done. So you're healed. You are well and ready to go. I'm so happy for you. I hope you didn't fake it and get hurt. No, I hope not. How many? 175 mils? Any bacon today? No. No, I will tell you. I'll get you ready for bacon week. I do have a little bit of bacon in the fridge, and I thought I would offer to put it in the kolaches tonight, but I told Irish and he goes, no. I'm like, okay. Not sausage wrapped in bacon with cheese with kolache dough. Like, that was too much. You can basically get any flavor of vodka here, name any sweet flavor, and you'll probably have it. Some spicy and savory will be possible too. Ooh. Capio, I love that. I would have to have one of each. Ada, no. No, I just don't, like, you know what I mean? You push yourself too hard. I didn't want you to fake like, oh, I'm fine, everything's great, and you're like in pain. You were in pain for a long time. So, no, I didn't mean that, but I want you to, look, I'm married to Irish. He's like, I'm fine. I have a throbbing abscess in my gums. I'm fine. That's my husband. So, you know, I have maybe a skewed perspective on how people treat their maladies and their health a little bit. Hey, bacon. Oh, we snuck right in there at the perfect time. Well done. Any given store will have at least 10 to 12 flavors. I'm moving to Poland, everybody. Let's go. Sounds good. I like that. All right, let me get this cold water. Let me get this cold water from the fridge. Tap water is still not cold. It is 93 degrees here today. I don't even know what that's in Celsius, a million. Just kidding. But because of pie crust being pie crust, we do want it to be, cold. So, all right, let me check. Yep, that's much better. And then we just get in here, add the water, bring the mixture together, and bring the mixture together and knead it. I can do that. Oh no, I'm running out of spatulas again. I didn't run the dishwasher last night. We'll have to get all our extra standby spatulas out and ready. 93 is about 33. Thank you for doing the math. I always have to ask the robot. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because 35 is usually what I think of as quite hot when we try and switch to Celsius. All right, let's see if it will come together. If not, I will add more water. Negative 40 is just negative 40. Is that where we meet up, Bacon, at that scale? I used to, and the child used to know because I used to be quite ambitious. So I was talking about doing science measures with her as part of our classwork, and imperial being silly. But I did have Kelvin side by side with Fahrenheit and Celsius for body temperature, boiling water, freezing water, and then absolute zero. And the Fahrenheit and Celsius numbers for absolute zero are smaller than I thought, less large than I thought. I thought they would be like thousands and thousands. And no, I think it's like hundreds. But heat death of the universe, like that's a big deal. I thought it would be a big number. It's not. And then I try to memorize body temperature in Celsius and Fahrenheit, but I just remember Fahrenheit every time. That's too stuck in my brain, and I guess I haven't had a good enough reason to change it. When you just practice something and you're not using it practically, like I'm studying French, and have been since I was in high school, and still am not good at it, but I don't have anyone to practice it with, and I don't have any reason to be good at it. It's not, you know, I don't have to order my food in French or talk to my doctor in French, so I'm not learning it in a practical way. Same with F and C. 100F is 36. That's why. I think 35 because it's almost 100. Because that's how hot it gets here. So yeah, I bet you're right. Thank you, Capia. That was a good point. Your 10th grade science teacher made us measure every temperature in Kelvin. How did that go, Bacon? I mean, I love the concept. I love that somebody figured out like this is when when atomic activity stops. Like, sounds important. Let's keep an eye on that. I was just thinking, you know, Kelvin is basically Celsius with extra steps. Yeah, just graded a different way, whereas the size of the degrees in Fahrenheit is slightly different, right, than Kelvin and Celsius. I was just thinking it's Celsius 273, so you just have to remember 273, and there you go. I used to know a lot of this stuff when I was in high school, and I was thinking I'm going to be teaching my kid maybe high school science, unless she goes to an actual high school, which she's considering. But I thought I knew so much, and at that point I probably knew a lot more than I know now. It would be kind of neat to get back to knowing all that stuff that I used to know, because then I specialized. I went into computer science, and so I offloaded a ton of information from my brain. Well, and I didn't do the electrical engineering part of computer science either. I mostly focused on coding, so then it wasn't even being able to use like resistance. ohms and amps and all the things. I did not do a lot of that. So, okay, we have a dough that has come together. I will knead it for a few minutes and get the gluten formation going. It doesn't have to be too much, I don't think. And it's funny because usually when you make a pastry dough with fat cut into it, you don't knead it ever, but this one for sure says to do so. And it will take longer, but that's okay. It says this will give us the ability to make a dough that holds a really good shape for our pasties tomorrow. Fun fact, Fahrenheit was the guy born in, do you say Gdansk? Because I always want to put the G in there, but then I'm afraid I'm doing it wrong. There are so many letters that are silent, which is currently a part of Poland. Cool, Fahrenheit from currently Poland. Wasn't way back then, was somewhere else, right? I don't know. I could make up geography, but I'm not good enough at it to fake it. That's pretty cool. Well, and I like that they named I like that he named his scale after himself. He's like, I don't know what else to call it. I'll just call it my name. I'll have like the Lysanth baking scale. It's fantastic. Independent city, really? Okay. Well, you say a long time, but Europe has a whole different timeline of history than I'm used to, right? So, when like 1500s? I told you I'm terrible at history and geography, right? This is nice. This is coming together really well. It's not quite where I want it to be yet, but it's getting there super fast. So I'm thinking the gluten's definitely doing its job. And I'm just going to chop the other stuff that goes in it, the filling stuff, which is onion, rutabaga. We call it rutabaga. You may call it swede or turnip, yeah. But we call turnip something else, I think. And then potato and beef. Long time is about 500 years. Okay. It was a couple hundred years off. Cool, yeah, that's very cool. I like the whole, like, we're in an independent city-state. We do what we want. Because we're doing ancient history, so you get that quite a bit in Rome, Italy, when we talk about the impact of the Greeks, right? I said Rome, Italy. I meant Greece, Italy. Still, Rome is involved. So, and then we even talked about, well, you were way off, independent for almost 80 years. Oh, that's okay. Still, it was a good starting point to discuss, right? Tell me the other city, though. I'm curious now, the 500-year independent city, because that does seem kind of hard as you get closer to modern day history. But one of my favorites is India, where they had Mohenjo-Daro is one of the famous ones, which is now at risk, I think, for being destroyed because of the climate issues there. But there were these, walled cities, circular, and they had baths and, all the things that we think of as modern, plumbing, all that stuff. And they had them in India, Egypt, Greece, lots of technology, lots of innovation and stuff that we are very prideful about having now, batteries. It's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands and then get the cling film onto the dough. They're just greasy, that is okay, but I don't want it on everything else. So this is a very nice amount of dough. I see why we needed all that flour. And then I'm sure as it sits in the fridge overnight, it will be nice and pliable tomorrow. Now I need a dish for my filling. So I will use my mixing bowl that has a nice lid on it. And we will cut things up. A big cutting board would be good for this one. All right. So let's start with the rutabaga. I'm not quite sure. Have to make a bag full of bags so I can do my recycling. But I'm not sure what to expect with this when I cut into it. So I think this is the other one I sharpened recently. We'll see. History is most your hated subject in school, not the person to be asked. I like cuisine questions too. I get that completely. But yes, I understand. I don't, love history. Some of it I really do, and the rest of it I really don't. So no worries. That's just an interesting thing. I like that a city was independent for quite a while. All right. I'm going to need 150 grams of this thing. And it weighs about 672. So I'm gonna slice off a piece. Ooh, if I can. How do you know if it's ripe, Max? Max is my expert because Max suggested this recipe along with a lot of other good British recipes. But I'm running into technical difficulties. Maybe John will show up and John can make up something funny because John is British, but I'm not sure he knows intimate details of rutabagas. This is just not the knife to do this. I thought I was slicing. Did not know I was severing. You have no idea. Quite all right. I kind of figured. And I'm mostly teasing, but if you had helpful tips, man, that would have been great. This thing is like a pumpkin. It's pretty waxy, so I guess the wax on the outside is not additional human wax. It is, in fact, rutabaga natural wax. So that's fun. Probably can't eat it raw, huh? Oh, it's nice. It's a bit radishy. I love radish. I never get them, but I love them. Columbus arrived to America today minus 530 years ago, yes. Yes, but other people did before him, so. I just like, everyone's like, oh, he did it. He thought the world, or he went to prove that the world was round. Everybody knew the world was round. The Vikings got here first, sorry. I'm also not very sympathetic to anybody who wants a day, you know? I mean, Mother's Day is okay. I'm just goofing you guys. Oh, but of course you remember because it's your birthday. That's true. So we'll have to find out when, is it Leif Erikson who's commonly credited? Or somebody the Red, maybe. Eric the Red, maybe. Whoever discovered or gets credit for discovering Canada. We'll find out when their birthday is. Celebrate that too. My birthday's in May, so nothing happens in May. Except Mother's Day, which is fine. So about that Polish cuisine, any questions? You're like, ask me anything. I don't know. See, so I went through and I told you I had a bunch of recipes, right? And I said I know some of them were German for sure. So the rest of them are Czech, which is not Polish, and I recognize that, but I mix them up a lot. So in your opinion, is Polish cuisine similar to Czech cuisine in general, like that you know of? Discovering Canada was a mistake, says everybody. I'm just kidding. I love Canada. Canadians wouldn't even hurt me if I said that because they're so nice. There have been a few mean Canadians that I've ever heard of. Everybody else is just nice. Man, coworkers, my Canadian coworkers were like the nicest. It was so great. All right, I'm not sure how much peel should come off. Maybe I'm like in the rind here. Maybe I should be in like the deep yellow. Actually, yeah, that looks like there's a white layer that I probably don't want. So some of these might be a little, I don't know, pithy or bitter or whatever you get with rutabaga outsides. Your mom's birthday is on International Women's Day. Very cool. You know, there is a day for everything. We used to, when I had my customer service job, my boss would look up what food celebration day it was, and we would celebrate like Donut Day, International Chocolate Day. We'd always share recipes. It was pretty fun. There's a day for everything. Oof. Did they give me an underripe rutabaga? I don't know how to tell. I feel like it's potatoey, so I feel like it's good to be stiff and not mushy. We'll go with that. It does not say how small to cut them up, just to dice them. We used to do, my dad would always call it tatties and neeps all the time when we were in Scotland. Mashed potatoes and turnips together. So I'm wondering if I can cook this with mashed potatoes and mix it in. I'm gonna try that. In the next couple of nights, we're making mashed potatoes with bacon and cheese. I'll make a side of rutabaga for myself, because nobody else is gonna wanna try it. I'd say it's very similar, except when it's not, right? I mean, I'm sure you can be serious, right? I will laugh, but I want to hear the truth. There are a lot of dishes that are similar names and all. Dishes unique to both, and the only similarity is the name. So is it nodal? Do you say the K? I want it to be a silent K because of the N, which are mostly German or nothing like Czech. You say the K, so it's canodal. It's not K, it's K. I have a hard time with all the consonants with no vowels in between. Oh, I need to see how much this weighs. Okay. 127, just a little bit more, but we need the big knife for it. Actually, I'm gonna cut off its butt. I'm gonna cut off the base of it, and then it'll be easier to cut vertically. It's a weird word, I mean, hey. Most of English is completely weird, so. No judgment, or I try not to judge anyway. I'm trying to think of another culture with which the cuisine I'm familiar with really shares anything, but I mostly do baking, so I mean, there's only so many ways you can make a pancake or a cookie or a cake. Flavor, yes, but you know, methods, not too much. Hey Flatspin, how are you? All right. I just need to get this up to 150. Oh yeah, okay. We'll take 150 too. I'm fine with that. Good, so we'll take the rest of our turnip. Nope, sorry, rutabaga. And we'll bag it until we can figure out what to do with it. Your noodle are potato based, almost like your canodal are potato based, almost like the kluski I've sent today. Kneadilki are a type of steamed bun. So basically they're just, yeah, nothing alike. That's so interesting. I gotta find places for all these, all these things. All right, here we go. Potato next. I know how to do the potato fairly well, I think. We'll see. I do need to rinse it a little bit. They're always a little bit dusty. Kartoffelsuppe. How do you say it flat? All right, I do have my potato peeler for this one, but that rutabaga was pretty stiff, so I'm glad I had the knife out as well. Potato soup, oh. What makes it special flat to you? Because I know you have a great love for these. Phone just keeps going. A great love for these dishes. Your languages are similar but super different. Polish word means stale. Czech means fresh, like literally the opposite. Wow, that is so interesting. I love when you can connect those things and then maybe there's a story on why, when the split happened, you know, and why it became this way or that way. We do have English words that mean the opposite of itself in certain situations, but I can't think of them right now, of course. So that's fun. All right, to rinse this. Time of the year for comfort foods, getting fat and hibernating. Yes, got you. So it's all the starches and the breads and the yummy things. Stale milk in a Czech store, like, oh, let's not buy that one. Yeah, that's a very interesting, I mean, how do you just have to know that you really want the other thing. All right, for the potato, I need twice as much. So I will cut this whole thing and we will see. Actually, we'll just do it this way. Okay, it's the whole thing. Without the peel, it made enough of a difference. It was about 100 grams off before, now it's like 30, so about 70 grams of peel, which is interesting to know for the next time I buy it, if I'm throwing away the peel, which I usually keep the peel on for mashed potatoes. I make them rustic. Hey Darkwood, how are you? And then you realize then all the milk is stale, right? Actually, they don't say fresh or stale milk on our milk, they just say milk. Maybe because they don't want to get in trouble if they're wrong. How are things, Darkwood? Kai was playing a game named after you yesterday. She came in and raided, and I thought that was quite interesting. It's a horror game, so I probably won't watch her play it. She might not play it for very long either, depending on how she's feeling. So you saw it? Yeah, cool. That's just funny. Funny to me, interesting to me. All right, so we're dicing up our potato. Since it didn't say how big to dice it, I'm just doing like bite size and hoping that will be, it cooks for 55 minutes and we'll bake it tomorrow. So we'll find out then, but it definitely should be done by then, I would think, with the sizes I'm doing. So if not, I will learn my lesson. It's still legal to call plant-based drinks milk here. We had a very long conversation, Capio, about nut juice, because almond milk is nut juice. But it sounds funny because nut is also slang for something else. So, you know. I'm pretty sure it's called almond. Let me check my almond milk. I'm pretty sure it's still called almond milk. Yeah. Almond milk, still milk. I don't know if they will change it. I was not confused about if almonds can produce actual lactation juice, you know? I did not worry about that, but I guess some people did. All right, onion next. It says slice, so I'm just gonna do nice thin slices. I think it's there just for flavor, not for any bulk or anything. So I will get out almond boob, exactly right. They don't have any. You're okay. It's not really milk. Because you gag when you say soy milk? Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of soy milk. I don't like it at all, actually. Almond milk is fine. Oat milk is good because it mostly tastes like oatmeal. Like it's just like an oatmeal smoothie. But I do drink cow juice. See, is cow juice milk or blood? Or like au jus from a steak? Like we have a lot of options. It's very confusing around here. So I'm gonna slice it thin and then I'm gonna cut these into smaller pieces. I don't want any long like strings of onion when we go to bite through, right? Because I assume we're just gonna pick it up and eat it. If Max is still here, Max, how do you eat the Cornish pasty properly? You just pick it up and nibble off of it, or you like slice it with a fork and knife like a civilized person? They were meant to be hand pies, right? I think they were. Still better than aquafaba, not good, yes. However, I've never tried you can whip it up into a froth and do stuff with it, and I've never tried that. I like chickpeas in some ways, but yeah, not the juice. All right, let's see how much onion this is by weight. That Carnation instant milk though, also not good. Yeah, not your milk should not be dry. And 150 gram of onion. If I dice the rest of this up and add a little bit of the fresh onion I have, that should be good. It is. It's all going to cook away anyway, so I'm not going to be too particular about, as long as they're not big pieces. Oh yeah, I don't need to add any more. This will be 150. Excellent. So then we just need 400 grams of beef. So it's at skirt steak, and I straight up went and got skirt steak, but the only time I use skirt steak is to make fajitas, so it feels a little weird. I'm gonna rinse onion juice off my hands. Everything has a juice. Onion has a juice. Nuts have juice. Pick it up and eat it, meant to be eaten in minds. I thought so, Max. Thank you for confirming. I always had this idea of them like wrapping it in a napkin and, I guess the coal mines? Was that what Cornwall was doing, was coal? Probably. Everybody was doing coal there for a while because of steam. Pretty great. Cow juice is baby cow juice. 10 Angel Bucks is worth 100 hot dogs. What is Angel Bucks? Milk powder is amazing. You can add it to milk and have more milk per milk. Truth, yes. Super saturated milk. Who knew it was a thing? Where did I put the meat? Here. Okay. All right. The mining in Cornwall, technically, the half of pasty is supposed to have a sweet. Oh, yes. And so you have half and half. Yeah. Well, we're going to do all meaty. And it's going to be delightful. Although I should make a half pie. Have you ever seen when you make half of a pie in one side and half of, put the other half of the pie right up next to it and make 2 pies in one? We could do that, but I'm not up for a meat and sweet. Harry Carey said, so in heaven. Okay, Flat. You're making a joke I don't understand, and or you've been drinking the good stuff, whatever. all good. I'm just messing with you, you know that. Okay, hang on. We have pieces. We have pieces of steaks all rolled up together. All right, well, this gets diced. I don't know. I'm sorry, Flat. I am a terrible person to make certain jokes to because I have literally no idea what's going on. Actually, I don't even know Harry Carey. I know Will Ferrell's impression of Harry Carey. All right, let me see if I can stop this from sliding around too much. So this has, you'll see the stripes in it, it's tenderized. It said knife tenderized, which means they cut a bunch of strips in it because it's a tough piece of meat. So that will help as it cooks. Next, for one student to type in your last message, it was Cornwall did tin mining. Ah, tin mining. I missed the entire first word of your sentence. I'm so sorry. Yes. But all the mines are shut down. Yeah. A lot of other places did coal, didn't they? Which is brutal. Was brutal. Probably is fine now. Hopefully is fine now. Otherwise, you're going to end up with pneumal ultramicroscopic silico-volcanoconiosis, and nobody wants that. You really don't. Most of your mines are coal mines in Poland. Yeah, I mean, I know we have coal mines in parts of the United States. I think we don't mine anything in Texas. I know we have salt domes to store natural gas, but I assume the salt's been mined out ages ago. So, I mean, we do like oil and gas wells and stuff, but that's different. You stick a pipe in it. You don't go down there. All right, this piece of, I don't know what it is, fascia of some kind, needs to come off. Okay, that is why my trash can smells bad, is I put bits of raw meat in it and everything else. There's slimy kale in there right now that's smelling quite unpleasant. Hey, Theater Tech! Oh my gosh, how was your jaunt to TwitchCon for the key? Are you back in Australia now? Did you find the brownies? Oh wait, we determined that you found the brownies. Somebody found the brownies, right? I need to hear the whole saga. It's like a soap opera I've been watching very slowly. Capio, your uncle worked there. He retired a year ago. Is he well? Did they have like respirators, I hope, and other safety equipment for the lungs? What happened yesterday? We made caramel cider cookies and applesauce oatmeal muffins, and I baked some gingerbread that was in the freezer because I want it to be fall. It's not yet. It's 93 degrees here, but it will be fall next week because the high will be 80, so it'll be great. A salt mine near Krakow. It's open for sightseeing only. Oh yeah, so they must have taken all the salt out and made the big dome. I saw a show about it. They are very interesting, salt domes. I still don't feel like I fully understand how they actually work, but they seem pretty cool. I'm glad to be missed. Thank you, Theater Tech. I'm just happy when any of you can ever show up, you know? They do, he's just bored, which makes sense since he's 48 and retired already. Yes. Yes, that's a little bit young. He's gonna find some other stuff to do, I bet. Pick up extra hobbies. You literally missed you by a minute and, oh no. I'm so sorry. That's not edible. That's not going in there. I'm not gonna measure, I'm not gonna weigh this because this is about a pound. It's 1.08 pounds and this calls for 400 grams. It'll be a little bit over. But I will pick out the bits that are not edible as we go. So like this thing right here is not gonna be eaten. Yes, back in Australia. I know, I did just bombard you, didn't I? Not sure I like that piece either. We'll leave it there for questioning. I love what's going into this too, though. I mean, it's literally, we have this meat, we have rutabaga potato, baker potato, big ol' brown one. And then we have onion, we'll have salt and pepper. It's gonna be very clean flavor-wise. Although I was considering, like, do I put some thyme in it or something? I don't think so. I think we'll let it speak for itself. Jobs like miner, policeman, or firefighter make you retire after 15 to 25 years here. What other jobs make you work till 60 something? Yes, yep. That's pretty cool that you can retire early from such a demanding job, because it makes sense. Some people will need that. And then some people will find ways to have a second career, you know? That's cool too. All right, I'm gonna see about that one. TwitchCon was horrible, so you gave the key and drove back. In 38 hours in the air. Oh my gosh. What was number 3? Did somebody find the brownies? I think you actually said they did. Last time you were here, when you were on the plane going to TwitchCon. I'm sorry it was horrible. Was it just like, for me, I will never go to, I went to, not Comic-Con or TwitchCon, but I've gone to, like, you know, cons. What am I talking about? Science fiction conventions, right? I've been to plenty of those. And I just don't like people around me that much anymore, so I'm just not gonna go. It's the same with live music. Live music is fine. It's a bunch of people around me that I don't really want to be around. So I did take the child to a concert because it's my kid. But for myself, I will not put myself in those places. So it sounds really neat, and I'm happy people get to go if they want to go. I'm not one of those people. We're playing some game soundtracks today, yes. So you should see in the bottom, well, it's the same for you, bottom left corner, right? That bottom left, not right. I just have a lo-fi remix playlist from Spotify that plays all this game music. So it should be very chill game soundtracks. It was supposed to be playing yesterday. When Boro made it in first, we checked the levels to make sure they were okay. So tell me if they are too loud or too quiet. It doesn't need to be playing over me, ideally. When I'm quiet, that's when you should hear it clearly. That's my hope. Although sometimes I talk so much I have to like breathe and keep talking and breathe until I just have to stop and breathe because I'm talking too much. Too many people, too much alcohol, not enough exits. I can feel that, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're back. How long do you have left on the show? Genshin Minecraft, yes. Capio, there's all sorts. There's like, we've had like Mario, old Mario, Breath of the Wild with Zelda. What are some of the other fun ones that have popped up? Animal Crossing with the little cute music. So I like the playlist. I've used it for a while. And somebody always remarks on it, so that makes me happy. Usually positively, of course. Kaya, hello. Perfect as is, yes. Thank you very much for the feedback there. Boro also said they didn't care for music in general, so we had that little conversation. So it should be quiet and not disruptive. Kaya, what were you playing? Were you playing Darkwood again? Darkwood was in channel. Said he saw you playing it, which was wonderful. You're a dad joke mood today, so why did the hot pepper miss his archery class? Ooh. Why did the hot pepper miss his archery class? Okay, so we've got puns about archery butts and bows and fletching. I don't know. Tell me, Capio. I love a dad joke. Theater Tech, we're dedicating tomorrow's show to one of the greatest actresses in the world who sadly passed away yesterday. Yes, she did. Angela Lansbury. I read that this morning. I grew up watching Murder, She Wrote. I don't know why. It's not my kind of show, but my parents let me watch it, and I did. And she was just a great actor. And then she did Mrs. Potts for the classic Beauty and the Beast, of course, which was out when I was in high school. So all my theater and choir friends were singing that. Darkwood is really slow in progress, and you'll switch to Untitled Goose Game tomorrow. Oh, very good, Kaya. I hope I can catch you on that. I will try right before stream to see if I can see you playing that. That would be really fun. Four weeks left. Okay. Yeah, I was remembering. I think you said 6. But was it 2 weeks ago? I don't know. Time flies, right? Because he didn't have an arrow. Oh, it was an arrow. Oh, that was so good. Thank you, Capia. That's amazing. My kid and my husband have 1 week of archery left next week. So I'll go with them and I'll try to slip in that joke somewhere. It's like a few teenagers and then my husband's the only adult, but it's open to everybody. So there could be more adults. There just aren't this time. But then there's a handful of like 8, 9, 10-year-olds. And I wonder if they will give me dirty looks. Have you ever tried blindfolded archery though? No. Say more. Is it another joke? Don't forget, Mrs. Alec. Oh, that's right. Bedknobs and broomsticks. I need to get the kid to watch it. It's the perfect season for that. I watched that one so many times. It was so good. I did forget. Aww. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands of the beefy juice. This should be called the juice episode. Everything's got juice on it. There we go. Oh no, my kolache dough is getting warm. It's getting happy. I didn't mean to prove it again, but there we go. I'm not gonna do anything with it until I have to cook the sausages. I don't have to, but I like to brown the sausages before I put it in to bake them. So, and that means the dough is not set to soak up as much grease because you kind of render some of it off. But this is for our Cornish pasties tomorrow. So we get to put this, I'm not gonna salt it because it would start pulling water out of all the veg and the meat. I'll season it tomorrow on stream, God willing, you know, that I'm here and the internet's up. But we'll put this in the fridge for now, just the way it is. And I'll put the dough right on top of it and then I'll probably remember what it's for. And I'm gonna wipe this up and we'll make brownies. New brownie recipe, never before tried in this house. So maybe it will be the one to beat the box brownies are the favorite here. Oh, I have a whole another onion. That can go back. I thought I would need it, but I did not. You don't know what you're missing. Perfect, Capio, perfect. I should write these down and then next Monday, I'm getting some archery puns. They're quite good. Something delicious. Wait, Cornish, yes, Theater Tech, we're making Cornish pasty. We made dough and that was our filling. So I'll bake those tomorrow on stream.
Archery pointers?
Archery puns.
Archery puns.
Why did the hot pepper, why could the hot pepper not do archery?
Why?
Because he didn't have an arrow.
Oh my God.
Yes. And then have you ever tried blindfolded archery?
No.
You don't know what you're missing? He's so unimpressed.
Chad, just get to the point. Oh.
He is a dad with his own puns. He did that. Get to the point. All right, Cornish pasties going back for tomorrow so we can finish them, but the dough needs to rest, so all is well. Past like in the past tense, and ease is in, is it pasties? Did I say pasties again? What have I been saying this whole time? I thought I had it right. You're right, it is. Pasty. I said pasty, didn't I? Ah, darn it. Thank you for the correction. And what do you have delicious for me, Theater Tech? And then Capio, not an archery pun. Do you know the difference between a tuna, piano, and a pot of glue? I mean, I should hope so. But what is the joke? It's okay, thank you. No, I always want to be corrected, especially with pronunciation. It's worth getting right. Paste. Oh, they are something else, aren't they? Pasty, pasty, Yep. Let us not put them in the wrong place, right? Hey, Geek Boy. Gonna have a talk with my body. That's not where those go. What a note to come in on, huh, Geek Boy? Theater Tech, honeycomb croissants with peanut butter piped in them, covered in dark chocolate sauce on the croissant, dipped into batter, deep fried, hung, baked in confectionery sugar, topped with cracked salted caramel shards on the top. You are too much. What is that even? Okay, first of all, how do you make a honeycomb croissant? I could pipe some peanut butter into a croissant. I could cover them in dark chocolate sauce. I can get that far. But then you batter them, deep fry them. Of course, if you're deep frying anything, you should definitely put confectionery sugar on top, and then cracked salted caramel shards go on everything. So why not, right? Oh no, never got to sleep. Well, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I did say whole nother. It's a thing. I'm in Texas. Just stumbled over a lady biscuit recipe in your book. Ooh, is that like lady fingers or different? Thank you, John. Yes, yes, my favorite captain. He's the best. Come on, I'll fight you. I don't know. We could talk about an what was the thing called with Archer? Was it just called Enterprise? Ladyfingers, perfect. Tell me what their ideas are for how to make actual ladyfingers instead of little things that I made. Your joke was ruined by lovely people. Oh, Capio, I'm sorry. You can tune a piano, but you can't piano tuna. Yep. I did scroll up. I'm sorry. I did miss it. Aw. A tuna piano and a pot of glue. You can tune a piano, but you can't piano tuna. That's just silly. Yes, the lady finger, because they're supposed to be the shape of fingers, Kaya. I mean, mine aren't. Mine were not. Enterprise, yes. If you get yourself to drink hot tea, that's what you drink. Earl Grey hot. Nice. Earl Grey is a mood thing for me. I don't have any at the moment. I don't miss it. I mostly drink black tea or green tea. Reese, hi, thank you so much for the resub. I appreciate that. You didn't get stuck on a pot of glue. Oh, I see, because I would say you can tune a piano, but you can't piano a tuna. And how does the pot of glue come into it? He is the best in TNG. He really is, John. Spoon biscuit? I wonder why. Why a spoon? Do you put it on a... Oh, you use it instead of a spoon to stir, right? Does it say? I might be right, Kaya, maybe. You make iced Earl Grey. That works. That works very much. Reese, how are you? Are you just going to sneak in and resub and leave? You can do that. You say hi, though. Cisco for the win. I mean, Cisco is very good, but I watched both. I watched DS9 thoroughly when it was on, and same with TNG. And I just, maybe it's because the movement part of the Enterprise D, and you're traveling around and exploring. I love that. Like, I think that DS9 is very cool, and it was a very cool setup, but there's so much politics in it. And the Enterprise can just like, I don't like your politics, I'm leaving. I'm going warp speed 9 to somewhere else. And I think that appealed to me more. So I think that may be why Picard does have to be the top one for me. Who's the best in TNG? Oh, Geek Boy, best character ever. Because I said best captain. So it definitely was on across the shows. But within TNG, Crusher, Beverly, not Wesley. Poor Will Wheaton. He's an interesting person, but he grew up with that. I mean, the women were good, but also Data was very interesting, right? You had that whole different aspect. So, oh, sorry, Capio. It's Star Trek. It's a Star Trek show. I'm so sorry. Yeah, my shirt's very not helpful. Does it say anything on the back? It doesn't say anything on the back, does it? I can't turn my neck that far. Q, okay. Because that's John Delancey, right? I would agree with you, Zorro, if we're not talking about normal cast. But you have to make a distinction. He is absolutely the antagonist in so many ways. You have to have like the protag balance, right? You can't just have Q on his own. He can't get up to shenanigans without Picard playing the straight-laced guy, right? Or Riker kind of ready to like have a fuss and go off and do something, right? So we were talking about Archer, then you see that question. Life has been crazy busy, Reese. Well, in a good way. Doing well, working on stuff. Good. I hope it's not too much. Today was almost too much for me. I was like, it's too busy. I need a nap. Did not get a nap. Ladyfingers, egg yolk, vanilla sugar whisked together, egg white sugar, pinch of salt, flour and fold. Sounds about the same, Kaya. I think so. Maybe it's just a proportion issue. But yeah, definitely cold bowl, pinch of salt, don't over whip. That's my learning from Ladyfingers last time. Egg yolks and egg whites need to be mixed before the flour. Yeah, the flour gets sifted in last. Perfect. Okay, so that sounds very similar. You would have loved if they got Tim Curry. Oh my gosh, I love Tim Curry. I mean, obviously Frankenfurter is by far the most obvious character of Tim Curry's, but have you seen the Clue movie? He's so good. I mean, he's good in everything, but he's so good in that. I love that one. John, TNG is more than the sum of its parts. The first 2 seasons are rough, though. That's true. And I have not gone back and watched any of them. I mean, I have solid enough memories of most of them, which is weird because that was in high school and I must be remembering the TV show that I watched to get away from all the drama in my life in high school. But I remember TNG. Oh, Tasha, well, Zorro. There were reasons that Tasha was a lot of people's favorites. You'd know Tim Curry only from it. Oh, Capio, you are missing out. I feel like you are. But, so Rocky Horror Picture Show, pretty sure it's on Netflix everywhere. Not everybody loves it for reasons that you'll see immediately, but he's so good in it and outrageous. And in Clue, similarly, he's so good. He's dressed as the butler, and you have to assume that he's the butler throughout the. If you play it's based on the board game, which we used to love when I was a kid because there were enough of us to play it. With 2 people playing it, it's just not fun. But with 4 or 5, it is. So, Tasha's Fine Crusher is a great choice. Is it best as side character? It's true. Well, but I mean, don't you want your bartender to be your counselor? I mean, Guinan's pretty good. And she was not used to her full potential, though, I feel. You know. Troy is a very specific and solid side character, though. I feel like they weren't interchangeable, which is always nice when you get when you get more than one woman on a sci-fi show, right? Because sometimes that happens. So, oh, Theater Tech, your internet died. No, don't apologize. I'm sorry that it died, but you're back. And we're talking about Rocky because of Tim Curry. Geek Boy, late 80s show called Wise Guys did arcs throughout a season with a case for Waz character to figure out. Music industry corruption, Curry, Debbie Harry, Glenn. Oh, interesting. You watch the entire Planet of the Apes. You can watch anything. I didn't watch the entire Planet of the Apes. You can watch anything. Rocky Horror Picture Show is cross-dressers and transsexuals, and so it's very sexually themed, and it was seen as like risque. I was in high school. Of course, it was risque for a 17-year-old. Oh, Walls character. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's see. The book has a lot of failure pages. Ooh, does it tell you about Ladyfingers? Tell me if it, because I didn't fail Ladyfingers last time, but I was close. You know what I mean? It was not where I wanted it to be. That's such a good book, Kaya. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, red alert cutscenes. Oh, for real. Yes, that's true. Kaya does need to start cooking streams. I know, Zorro. Let's do it. Hard agree, Crusher was a bit of a victim too. Yes. One criticism as a whole, they slightly underutilized their female cast. Like, John, I think that's true. But at the time, it was excellent the way they were using them and that they did have them and they were distinct. I think most episodes maybe passed the Bechdel. No, probably not most of them. Some of them passed the Bechdel test, which wasn't a thing then, but now it is, and I use it a lot because it is very telling when you have a female who never has a conversation about anything other than a man with another woman. Like that tells you a lot about the writers. So please don't tell me he's gone. Who, Curry? Not yet, right? What? Oh no, Kaya can't cook because she can't do flour. We would have to get her all gluten-free alternatives. Also, she cut her hand with a very sharp knife, and now she does not like the knife so much, which I totally understand. Like, I get it. I've put a knife down to the bone on my finger, but not through the whole hand. That's very much trauma. But Kaya could just show us the book and then be like, this is how, she could take my VODs, she'd be like, Liz did it wrong this time, Liz did it wrong this time. It'd be great. The original Planet of the Apes were really good, the next movies. Yeah, I don't keep up with that. No, they weren't ever books, were they? Your brain has recovered from seeing a post on Facebook about whether Angela Lansbury was in a 40s movie called Gaslight and how it took your brain to get a minute. Wait a minute. You think they redeemed themselves with Voyager? I don't know. Well, I don't remember Voyager as well either. But like, Janeway's not. And then 7 of whatever number of 9 she was. TNG from season onwards, episode of bangers. I agree, John. Oh, it's in German. You couldn't. Well, I mean, you could translate, but that would be a lot. That's true. With this a few stinkers, yeah, for sure. You could be about Betsy Baker. Yes, Kaya. Just come on here and be like, Liz, no, stop. Y'all did that. You and Hippie saved my egg whites the other day when I was doing that tiramisu, so I appreciate that. You definitely are welcome. All of you are welcome if you think I'm doing something wrong to like, hey, maybe you should do something else. I'm not going to take it personally at all. Like if you go, you stupid lady, like that might be personal. I don't like that. But otherwise, what happened? Has Tim gone? No, we started talking about my shirt and Next Generation, and then we were talking about John Delancey as Q, which led somebody to say Tim Curry would have been a super good villain, and we were talking about what Tim Curry did do, and that's where we ended up. It's been convoluted. Oh yes, Capio, that's true. The old one was good. I remember the CG wasn't good, but the plot was good. Voyager was brilliant. See, I would have to go watch it again and see, because there were some things where I found Janeway very, like, whiny. I don't know. No, why so much star anise? Exactly, Capio. Like, don't put that in there. Less nutmeg. Inconsistent as a character. Yes, maybe that's why I'm calling her whiny John, because there were some times where she was like super strong, and then there were times where she was very sort of, I mean, and people can be both, women and men can be both strong and emotional and weak and all the things. Like, it's fine. They, I feel like, tried to portray her only just a little bit flat. Neelix is Star Trek's Jar Jar, yes. Reach the buttercreams and it has the recipe for German, French, and Italian. No American, what's the German one? I've never heard of German. And I always hear Swiss. Are Swiss and French, do French and Italian have egg whites in them? Does German have egg whites? I need to know. John did Frank in Britain for 2 years. He was very good. Twitch chat changes direction. Yeah, exactly, Geek Boy. What are we talking about? Not the same thing we were talking about 5 seconds ago. 8 all stars. Ooh, no, I would buy one and I would be like, let's put half of it in. Star anise is tough. Ooh, too much. Rick Mayall would have been a fantastic QT. I don't know who that is, John. You have to send us a Wikipedia link or IMDb or something. All right, we'll make brownies now. I stole this from the World of Warcraft book that I don't own, but somebody posted the recipe on the internet, so I took it. You know I did. Eventually I'll buy the book. It's on my wish list. Eventually somebody will buy me the book. But in the meantime, we're going to try it and see if it's better than box brownies. It's also very pungent, yes. Have I seen Drop Dead Fred? No. I vaguely remember trailers for it though. Twitch chat is like Houston weather. If you don't like it, just wait a few minutes. Exactly, Geek Boy, right? What is she talking about now? Nobody knows, neither does she. Who knows? Tibbs going to sleep with a belly full of triple chocolate brownies topped with Ghirardelli caramel for the win. Oh, that's so good. Tibbs, like you won. You won the day. Well done. I would pass out with triple chocolate brownies with Ghirardelli caramel on them. Yeah. Good job. I could buy the Necro Nom 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 in English. If it's funny and clever. You're gonna try and make some because you've had a long day? Yeah. Yeah, you should do. I thought you already did that. No, you should get on that right away. I was very excited for you. John Hughes, the titular character, also Lord Flashheart and Blackadder, which I never got to watch. Fantastic British comedic actor, sadly passed away a few years ago. I wonder if I would know his face. German buttercream is basically vanilla cream and butter. No egg white, but egg yolk. French has a full egg, butter, and sugar. Italian has egg white, butter, sugar, and glucose. No, that's okay. I can read it, Kaya. That's interesting. Well, is Swiss meringue buttercream a Swiss thing? Do you make it like, because we call it that, but maybe you don't call it that. Just like this one doesn't call. French has an egg in it. Egg, butter, and sugar. So I think German's probably the closest to American because it has the egg yolk and we have butter, right? And then French puts the white in there as well. Italian is what I would expect, except we don't put glucose. It's just sugar. Send a sample page on the Discord. Thank you, Capio. That would be very interesting. Yes, I would like to see that. Swiss meringue buttercream. Okay, so there are 3 types that we commonly reference in the US for frosting: American buttercream, Swiss meringue buttercream, and Italian meringue buttercream. Sometimes just Swiss buttercream, Italian buttercream, but they both have meringue because they both have egg whites. They're marshmallowy. So that's what I would think. We need the pot. We are going to briefly, well, we need a bunch of other stuff, but we're gonna put the butter in it. And cocoa powder and melt it down. Then we'll bring it back over here and put the rest of the stuff in it. And even if they're not as good as the box ones that my family prefers, I bet they'll be pretty good. I won't have any trouble finding people who want to eat this or take this home. Hopefully. You didn't know we had a special Swiss one, right? I know, we call it that, and then you're like, I'm Swiss. Did I miss something? Right? Or like the Italians, like, what? Did we make a frosting while we weren't looking? All right. I wish I could drink caffeinated tea in the evening, but that would probably be a terrible idea. A teaspoon of ground ginger, soulless. Where'd Ginger Ninja go? That'd be a great one for him. Have you tried half-baked harvest recipes? No, Zora. Tell me more about that. I don't know anything about what you're saying. But I need cocoa powder. I have my sugar. I have vanilla? No. So I need cocoa powder, vanilla, and baking powder. I'm on it. I did not convert any of these. So now I'm gonna do it. 1/3 cup is 5 1/3. Okay, it's 5 tablespoons, so 25 grams. 3/4 cup of granulated sugar is 150. We need, let's call 1/2 cup of AP flour. We'll go 60. So I usually do 140, but I've been moving back towards 120 lately, and the rest is in teaspoons. Good. Did you see the croissants? I saw the rest. I saw the note that you made about them, but I have so many questions. How do you make a honeycomb croissant in the first place? What is that? I don't even know that one. Half-Baked Harvest is a woman who has incredible recipes, extremely good, easy to make, really incredible, highly recommend. So just a blogger website. You can link it if you'd like, or I'll try and remember later, or you can put it in Discord. My memory is worse. Irish says it will continue to get worse as I age because his is, so that's always great. And I'm also very, I'm not sick, I just am not great. I think it's allergies. I think it's very much allergies. So I couldn't tell you what I did yet. I mean, I think I streamed yesterday, but you know, other than that. Oh, thank you for the follow, Zoro. I appreciate that so much. Very nice. If the recipes in the book get too confusing, there's a real recipe in the back. Oh, that is helpful, Capia, because that's one of those things where I'm like, did you mean, are you being really weird? That's perfect. Kai, you need to head off. Try to translate the recipes for translate the recipes tomorrow. So just take a picture. Whatever you want, Kaya. Thank you so much. I appreciate that you put any energy into it at all, just because I'm super curious and appreciative that you're sharing that. But I hope you have a very good night. So get some sleep. All right, let me pop open that recipe real quick. Honey and the comb baked into the cross dough. Really? I have not ever bought honeycomb because it's expensive, but there are farmers markets that have it. That might be pretty cool. All right, 25 grams of cocoa. I am using the cheap one, not the bougie one. I probably should have used the bougie one to make sure it would be more successful, but that's okay. Thank you again for the raid, Kaya, and good night. By the way, you translated all the remaining recipes. Have already had some work with that today. Oh yeah, you said you were going to work on that. You got them all done? Well done. That's a lot of effort, I would think. I can't translate anything. All right, I'm going to put this on the stove. We just need it melted, so it's going to go on low. There we go. Let's look through this half-baked harvest really quick. 1 skillet, creamy sun-dried tomato, chicken, and orzo. Sounds amazing. Looks beautiful. Where's your recipe, lady? The scrolling. There probably was a skip to recipe link that I missed. Here we go. Olive oil, chicken breasts or small thighs, oregano, paprika, crushed red pepper, butter, shallot, garlic, orzo, white wine. Heavy cream, Dijon mustard, Parmesan, yes, all the things. Baby spinach. It looks really nice, like nice and fresh, but rich as well. That looks really good. Recipe is your family's current favorite, super easy and good. I can see why, Zero, absolutely. Capio, how did you speak English every day? Like, are you related to somebody who's native English, or did you just practice it? Because that's amazing. Yeah, I can see why. It's easy for you. For a lot of us, not so much. When you're doing laminating the spray or chef paddle of the mixture every 3rd layer. Oh. See, I don't laminate my croissants. I cheat. I use the cheat method. Is that bad, theater tech? Are you gonna leave and be like, I'm insulted? I literally roll out all the dough, cut it into strips, put the butter on, and then stack all the strips together, and then I'm done. I've done it twice and it's worked both times, so I'm pretty happy with it. You just play games online, and what everybody yells at you in English, so you know how to say a lot of bad things in English, like really insulting things. I know, theater tech, I know. But then it's easy. It works it works perfectly. It's ridiculous. But when you think about what you're doing exactly the same thing. You're just doing it the easy way. I'm not sorry. I will stand by that. However, I get if you didn't like it. I get it. But there's an easier way. I know we can no longer be friends. I'm dead to you. Nah. If I do it the proper way, I can't stream it, actually. Because 3 days worth of folding and freezing? Maybe not 3 days. Feels like it. Okay, once this is melted, sugar, eggs, and vanilla, yes. Oh, I need my trivet. I'm glad you know we're joking, right? Everybody knows we're joking. It's melted. It's melted. I'm just gonna stir in the rest of the cocoa powder. The interesting thing about brownie recipes is I don't find very many that use melted chocolate. And essentially, I'm kind of making melted chocolate right now. Cocoa powder and butter is almost reconstituting actual chocolate. And it smells so good. All right, I'm just gonna stir it for a bit, partly because the cocoa is lumpy and partly because that'll help cool it down. I'm not putting eggs straight into this. That would be a bad idea. You do 704 hours, 5 hours at a push. But you're working on that nonstop, right? It would take me 3 days of stream because I'd sit here and do it and then I'd freeze it for a while. You're right, it probably can be done faster properly. But you're also, I mean, the desserts that you describe and the numbers that you say you're making are phenomenal. Like, I literally have 2 other people than myself to feed. It's a bit of a different perspective. You had to learn English if you wanted to play some online games. Most of them aren't really, yes, translated into Polish. Guess learning new languages comes easily. Oh, that's good. A few people have had the same amount of experience and can't speak fluently. Yeah, then you must have that knack for it, which is fantastic. The interesting thing that you just reminded me of is, so I play a lot of hidden picture games, and because they're easy, it's my like calming my brain down games where you literally they're like, oh no, an alien a dark evil force has invaded the lab, and you go and you like pick up things and you put them together and you unlock things and whatever. It's a hidden pictures and puzzles, and I believe a lot of them are. See, here's where I'm going to run into my lack of knowledge, but in the credits, the names look like Polish, Czech. Czechoslovakian is not a thing anymore, isn't it? It's Slovakia and Czech Republic. But like the way the words look to me, with my minor knowledge, is that they are made in studios that are somewhere in that part of Europe. So I don't know. I assumed maybe there's a lot of that kind of game. But they translate it into English. Sometimes it's great and sometimes it's awful, but it's still fun. How does your dough take 3 days? Well, because if I'm streaming, then on stream I only do a couple hours and you have to freeze it forever. How long do you freeze your dough before you take it out and fold it again? And add more butter. Maybe I've been doing the wrong recipe. You have a trailer with 3 ovens, 2 deep fryers, and 8 burners, plus been doing it for 7-8 years. You've made yourself into a pro. That's amazing. If I focused on this, I could probably be a lot faster. Ski, chi, yes, ak. Yes, I'll have to make a special notice next time I play one, but I will, because that's what I was always thinking was okay, I'll see if it's Polish or not Polish then. Yeah, point and click, yeah, exactly. There's always like a dark force trapped in a crystal, but somebody let it out. They're silly, but they're fun. I enjoy them a lot. All right, well, I'm going to stir the sugar in next, and that should give us a good amount of heat reduction here because it's still pretty warm. And we need 150, right? Yep. Okay. I'm going to get another spoon. I don't like to put cocoa powder into my sugar. You don't freeze it for longer than 30 minutes. Ooh, okay. Well, my recipe says hours, or I'll have to check if it does. I always think it says quite a lot. No, actually, I threw the recipe away when I got the cheat one. But what is the concern about doing it the cheat way? I'm happy to say it's, yes, fine if it's not the right way. Like, fine to admit that it's not the right way, but then what would the real concern with doing it that way be? Just more of an academic talk, you know. Recipes are guides, right? Meh. I do try to cheat most recipes. I will try to find a way to shortcut it after I've done it a couple times. The only one I have not done that on is my chocolate chip, and it is because it is perfect. It was made by America's Test Kitchen, and I think that They did all the science on it and they did it right. And my family loves them and asked me never to change them. So I'll go with that. Okay, I'm gonna put my teaspoon of vanilla in and then the eggs last. You prefer RPGs? Still looking for a D&D team though. It's been somewhat like your dream to play it. Like D&D online or pen and paper? Like tabletop. Ah! Pardon me, just throwing things around. You bake from the heart and you also do it your own way. I do too sometimes, but not often. Yes, I get that. And I definitely bake with heart, but also with time constraints in mind and other things. Yeah, I call it cheating, but playfully. So I do wonder like where, like Kaya has this book about, well, here's what will go wrong if you do this. Here's what will go wrong if you do this. That I would be happy to have someone go like, well, here's what will go wrong if you don't do your croissants properly. Like I've been dabbling in the dark arts of cheating in croissant making, you know. Eventually a demon will come out and eat me. That is the way it said, right? That is the lore of the, oh, that has meat on it. Let's put that in there. The lore of the kitchen. Eventually, a small oven-shaped demon will come eat you if you do all your recipes wrong. Any kind really you just want to try? Oh, okay. Well, I used to run D&D I used to play D&D in college, but then I used to run D&D for the kid and her homeschool friends because we called it math. Because it's got a lot of math in it. So it's fun. I wouldn't be up to running one, but I'm trying to think of, you're supposed to be making French toast. Go, 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 make 5,000 French toast. You can do it in 20 minutes. That's awesome. Go make your French toast, Theatre Tech. Be awesome. Who's singing? Is somebody singing in the Dance of the Moonlight Jellies from Stardew Valley? I've actually played that one. You want to try playing D&D in English, but the time difference was too big? Yeah. If I want to play in Polish, I have to really learn some words. Yeah. Well, and I was going to make a Thaco joke, but that only works if you've played 2nd edition D&D, not 5th. So it wasn't even that funny. All right, we're going to get the eggs in. We're going to make the dry mix first, which is 60 grams of flour. Where's my clean spoon? Oh, there it is. I should probably preheat the oven. Let's do that before we do anything else. 350 on it. in 20 minutes, not without burning my hands. It'll take me 25 if I'm careful. I use oven mitts. Reese, oh no, but see, 650 is not accurate. About 400 of them are bots, and Twitch was supposed to clean them out, and they didn't. So I'm cheating at everything. Croissants, Twitch followers, it's awful. But thank you. I look like every week, like have they cleaned them out yet? You weren't, I don't know if most of you were here, but I totally got follow botted and had to turn off all my sounds because the follow sound went for 2 hours. It was literally like 300, 400 people or fake accounts followed me. Maybe you'll find a nerd group in your college since it's an engineering school. I hope so, Capio. It's fun. D&Ds are really good if you can get a good group. I played with a lot of groups. Not that many great ones. The kids were fun. I made a chaotic evil campaign and I let them be awful to each other and they literally murdered and backstabbed each other all the way through. It was funny. So it's a fun game though. I think you'll like it. The singing was on my end. I don't think I was singing. My stove is not even singing yet, so I don't know. I'm sorry. Maybe it was interference. Bots, yeah, it's a thing. No, it's just somebody comes in and then they I don't know, have an army of spam bot thingies, and then they, my child's texting me from upstairs. No, and I guess there's a command and they all followed me at once. Cheating at cross ants. Hi, Boro. Why do cow milking stools only have 3 legs? The cow's got the udder. Oh, so good. So good. SiriBot is great for follow bots. Oh, it will ban them? Okay, Geek Boy. Would you please send me a private message with that and like if there's a link or something? Because I would love to get rid of them. I mean, I'm not really one for inflating my numbers with bots. Like, I don't know how to get rid of them, so I'm not going to do anything. But if there's a quick and easy way to do it, that'd be good. Happy your uncle had a D&D campaign, but they split after a big argument. There's so much drama in some D&D groups. There really is. It's rough. John, you got to go unwind before Bedfordshire. Bedfordshire. I will give all your love, John, to Irish. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Always lovely. And a good TNG/Star Trek/Tim Curry discussion. Very enlightening. Your spatula has a carved? Yes, it does. This is my extra. So I have my favorite orange one, but it's dirty. So this is my second favorite orange one. All right, this is cool enough. I'm going to put my eggs in. I was going to do one-handed crack, but I don't feel like fishing it. Oh, should have done that the right way. Fishing eggshells out. Tea Earl Grey hot, yes. Milk warm with a dash of nutmeg. Well, yes, not everybody likes hot tea, for one. I don't have any Earl Grey at the moment because I like it, but not enough to get some until I want it. Definitely, I'm just definitely a straight black tea girl. Like, black tea, please. Really strong black tea. Nothing in it, just the tea. I know, I'm trash. John Irish and John Blair at Tango. Shaka when the Twitch follow bots fell. Fabulous. I'm making up episode names. This will be fantastic. I feel like I should be whisking this, but it didn't say whisk. Okay, I'll just keep going till I have a smooth mixture. The great thing is, this will be getting smoother. Once you add the eggs in, and this happens, there's a weirdness to my egg. All right. This happens with my chocolate chip cookies too. Once you add the eggs into the sugar and the fat, it coagulates, for lack of a better word. It makes it really like smooth and glossy. It's really cool. It's what Crusher ordered for the captain once. You just mess with people. Milk warm with a dash of nutmeg. Hey. So I said I remembered a lot of TNG. I don't remember a lot of detail of TNG. You could be like, the one where that, and I'd be like, oh, I think I remember that. But it has been a while. Find a photo of your favorite cup of iced coffee. It's caramel coffee with half and half and a bit of cinnamon. I would love that, Capia. That would be so delicious. So I actually have. So I got these for free. So I'm not fancy, right? But with the coffee maker that I have, I get the pods, and they sent these for free. It's caramel and vanilla. And I'm just like, a little dash, and it's so good just to have a little tiny bit, especially the caramel. It's quite buttery in my coffee because I never put sugar in it. So I will put milk or cream, but like that little dash of syrup, like the little flavor, it's so nice. It makes it feel decadent. Boro, 3/4 of the way through Trek in in-universe chronological order. Oh my gosh, that's an undertaking with the movies and everything. Where do they start to overlap? Because I mean, there's a few episodes that cross several, not several, probably one each of the different series, right? So you're starting with Enterprise. All right, this is nice and smooth. It's glossy. It's got some air bubbles, but they'll be fine. So I'm going to add the dry ingredients and stir vigorously to combine. You ready? Oh wait, I didn't put my baking powder in. let's do the rest of what I was supposed to be doing this whole time before I got distracted. Thank you, Capio. Thank you for sending that on the Discord. I appreciate it very much. How much? Quarter? Quarter. So these will definitely be not fluffy, which is good because I don't like a cakey brownie. I want a fudgy brownie. Bora, thank you. A link to Discord as well. Excellent. Fill up my Discord with delightful things. I do love it because usually Discord's like, oh, it's in Irish's channels. It's in Irish's. And then somebody puts something in my channels and I'm like, yay. And I go check it. Oh, I see it. Oh, did you send it straight to me? It came to my watch. I wasn't expecting that. That's okay though. All right, salt, flour, and baking powder. The oven has not yet sung to me, so we will not add it yet because that's our leavening and we don't want to ruin it. I'm going to, you did send it straight to me, it doesn't really fit in a category. Thank you. I appreciate that. You are welcome to put anything that doesn't fit in either recipes and picks or silliness into the best chat because that's what makes it the best. It's all the stuff. But totally fine the way you did it too. I was just thinking about that today because somebody posted a picture of their pup, the Labrador pup. So cute, and said, I didn't see a place for pets. And I don't know that I want a bunch of different channels that are all, I want us all to be in on the same conversation of just exactly how we did it today, which was like change directions 8 times in 30 seconds. It's a lot of fun. I'm gonna put these in the dishwasher and get out a pan because we are about to actually make dinner. And oh, it's my necklace hitting my mic again. Does it sound quite loud to you guys? I feel like it must. It sounds loud to me. We'll get this here. It was you, okay, it was you, Capio, because you have different names, and I try to remember whose is whose. Like, I know Boros because it's very different. You were kind enough to go like, hey, it's me. Perfect, perfect. I thought it was because of the timing, that's true. Okay. Let's go. Mixing vigorously, as per instructed. Oh gosh. Well, everything's stuck to the bowl, so now I have to scrape it. Oh, I had butter in here. I couldn't remember why it was sticking. Yeah, butter will do that. But I need to get all of this in here. Yummy. You know what? It's totally fine. I'll remember now. But at first I was not sure and then assumed it was because of the timing, but you know. Or if you'd like to change it, that's fine too. But you do not have to. I will eventually remember and figure it out. Just give me a little grace. Y'all already have given me a lot of grace, actually. Thank you for that. This is really nice. Like there's not a lot of flour in it, which makes me think it's going to be really chocolatey and nice and not too cakey. So, looks nice, smooth. Nope, I moved the pan. Why am I? I tricked myself. I feel like, yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like that piece of parchment's gonna go straight down to the corner there, and it did. Fine, we'll just glue it there with batter and then we'll leave the rest of it. Scrape this goodness out of here and get it in the oven. Only changing it on the server, not your account. If you're happy with that, that's perfectly fine with me, thank you, yes. I know you can do that, I've never done that. But then I start to see people with like, hey, I thought it was, you know, Dom, and it's something else ridiculous. They're always being ridiculous, Irish and his friends, in the funnest way. Justice is best served cold, you know, just because when it's served warm, it's just water. Oh, that's perfect. Capio and Boro, you two right now, being in chat together, it's like the puns are going to be apex level, you know? We reached pinnacle puns. You love that you have to do it on every server? I don't care to change the account. Yes. Yeah, that's smart. I get how that would work. I'm just lists everywhere, so I don't know. For all that I'm like, oh yeah, I do Twitch and Discord and I know things. I don't know that many things. All right, brownies going in. They look nice, they look rich. And we will set our timer for 25 minutes. Excellent. All right, puns are like paper. They're terrible. I love them. I love them so much. Puns are great. Puns make everybody react. I laugh. A lot of people groan. Irish was groaning earlier about the arrow puns, you know? But you definitely get a reaction, at least, or there's somebody who goes, I don't get it, which is fine, right? All good. Okay, so, puns of the devil's work. So I have none. So silly. All right, let me get out, let me put this stuff away. And then I'll get out the sausages. I'm not preheating the pan yet, but I do need to be, so let me. So many things to do, you guys. So much stuff. Preheat, organize, wash. And I just got hungry, so it's good that this is dinner. Oh yes, I was going to slice cheese and put it in there too so that it's nice thick cheese, because I'm afraid if I use the thin cheese, it'll just run out. All right. Okay, brownies in. Always with the gas, I have to check. Always with that burner, actually. So, but we have 6 balls of dough. And so I'm actually gonna only cook 3 of these, not cook, they're already cooked. I'm going to mess with 3 of the sausages. Let me make sure they're cooked. They are. Heat and eat. Heat and eat. Okay, yes, they're fine. I thought so, but it's worth checking, especially with pork. Well, I think we'll have some really yummy sausage later too. It came in a big old thing of 10, so. No one here is sad. Everybody, I think, likes the smoked sausage. That doesn't look like icing sugar or meringue or cinnamon. It's gonna be a kolache. I know. That's like, I'm always used to showing up like this and I'm like having a princess dress on. One day you'd be like, what are you doing? It does count as baking because there's dough. It's right here. And it says from 2nd of August, so it's been in there for a minute. It's proving nicely, which is really great because it's not dead. The yeast is going to be lovely. The worst thing about your puns is that most of them are situational or they aren't easy to understand without some knowledge on obscure topics. That can be a trick, yes. Yes. My child is making puns and they're just bad, but they're good, you know? The one she made up the other day was, what is a gymnast's favorite science or lab equipment? And I was like, I don't know. And she goes, it's Simone Viles. And I was like, I mean, it's good, but it's bad. So, you know, they'll tickle somebody's fancy. All right, so the whole point of slicing these is I'm gonna put them face down and get some of the fat out and get them nice and crispy. I'm gonna use a different knife for the cheese. And a different cutting board. Different everything. You're getting worried. Liz, are you okay? You do know where poor Italians live though? In spaghetto. I don't get that one. You don't have to explain it though, it's okay. I can live in my ignorance. I'm definitely Ravenclaw. I want to know everything, but I know also that that's not always my privilege to know everything. All right, so I'm cutting these pretty thick because I want the kolaches to be about this long and the sausages will stick out a little bit. So I want it to have a nice, I'm not gonna do cheese on both sides, just one. So I want it to have like some substantial cheese in there. And then it's 350 for 15 minutes. So that's gonna be a nice bake on there. They'll get melty. Ignorance is bliss, right? Mario, are you okay? Everything is fine. Nothing is ruined. You just wait. I will show up in a princess dress on stream one day. No one will know. Well, the blue hair might give me away. I'll have a tiara. No, I said I will always show up as real life, so unless I'm a real life princess, I don't think we're getting there. And as someone mentioned, I said I was gonna maybe come on stream in my Halloween costume for Halloween, you know, the stream closest to Halloween. But it's a mummy costume and it's got strings all over it, so that would really be gross to get in food. So maybe I won't do that after all. I was like, yeah, that'd be great. And then, oh no, that is a bad idea. I won't do that. Maybe I will have a princess party redeem for channel points at some point. And that'd be fun. I still have my Harry Potter one to do when somebody redeems that, so that'll be fun as well. All right, what am I missing? My tray. Hungry? He can smell it. Irish came down. His predatory senses were twitching. I'm always dressed as a mommy. Oh, I'm a mommy. Do you want more than, I mean, I'm making 6 kolaches. Yeah, so. Hey, that's fine. You can eat them all. You might have to fight with Momo on it though. She was very excited about kolaches. You will. You'll beat the child. Goodness, these proved quite a bit. Oh, yeah. Playing Minecraft with her BFF. Nothing else matters right now to her. Oh, they're so sticky. That is funny, the mommy mummy comment though, just because when I got my hair done last time, like bleached to turn it blue, the girl was like, well, what do you want? And I was like, I just don't want to look like a normal mom. So I feel like, you know, I mean, it's just because I don't want to do false advertising. I don't want people to come up to me and go, oh, she'll say something totally normal, because I for sure will not. I will not. I'll be talking about Star Trek and Harry Potter and streaming and World of Warcraft and D&D. Not a lot of people are up for that right off the bat. Ugh, so sticky. Okay, excellent. Do you know what does the grape say when it's stepped on? Does it whine? Nothing, it just whines? Normal is a setting on a washing machine. I like that one, and that is true. I do have a normal setting on my washing machine. You know how many people have said, oh, you looked so normal until you started talking. I mean, I have been told that before, and I'm not actually sad about it, so, you know. I would have been at one time in my life, but now I'm like, yeah, no, legit. Let's add a little wine. I got it, Capio. I'm so glad. I know the delay might make me seem like I didn't get it, but I did, because that just showed up. No, that's awesome. Okay, these go back in the fridge. Meat and cheese in their drawers. We keep them separated so they don't replicate at midnight. See, just being silly. All right, let's see how we are. Oh, perfect. Okay. Turn that off. So here's the trouble. We need the oven. I can heat the other oven up. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to, because it's also 350. Okay, let's do lower, bake. It's already at 210. because the heat divider between them is not perfect, which is fine. What about the difference between a pro musician and a large pizza? Large pizza. Large pizza. I don't know, you're gonna have to tell me that one. Hey Bora, are you feeling better than the other day? How you doing? It's okay if you're not. I just was checking in. Oh, pizza can feed a family of 4. Oh, that's a good one. Good bad one. All right, so this dough is a little stickier than I had really counted on. I'm just gonna play with them a little bit and stretch them out for a minute and lay them out, and then I'll see if I can wrap our meat and cheese. I should have added like a veg or something in here. I mean, well, kolaches don't usually have veg in them, but I've tried to add a vegetable component to dinner, but maybe not tonight. I'll probably have a bit of salad later with it. How do you make holy water? I don't know. Bora, not really, not trying to inflict yourself on other people. That's okay too, yeah, I get that. If you ever want to share what's going on, you let me know. I have private messages. And if not, I will just, I don't know, I can pray for you if you want. I can wish you the best. I can send you good vibes. To me, it's all the same kind of thing anyway, so, but I know it matters sometimes a lot to some people, so whatever works for you. You boil the hell out of it. Yes. Nice one, Capio. What are we at? 6 p.m. Oh, I'm so good at timing that I didn't mean to be. But good. We'll have the brownies out in 13 minutes and then we'll let them cool. We'll try a little nibble. Then we'll go off and see what else is going on. It's Wednesday? Yeah. Hippie and probably Mama Huevos will be on, so we might go see Hippie this week. We saw Mama last week. It's nice to have streamers that you can think of as solid people. Like you can put your chat into their stream and it's going to be same vibe or similar vibe. Not a lot of people going, oh my gosh, what what happened? So I like that. Dependable. Bro, your Christian prayers are always good. All right then, my pleasure to do that. Boiling water, it will be missed. That works so well on both levels. I love it. I love it. Well, and the funny thing, Boro, just that you said your Christian prayers will be appreciated. One of my dearest friends is Hindu, and we have no quabbles or quarrels or anything about the nature of the universe and all of that. So I love that we can be the people who, you know, find the similarities and appreciate that. Don't have to feel like us against them with anybody. So I know not everybody feels that way though, and sometimes it makes me feel very sad. To be a cliche, why can't we all just get along, right? Aspinator, hello, how are you? I'm still gonna call you Aspie sometimes maybe. I'll try my best. I'll be Aspinator. You got this. Good to see you. You tried to grab some fog once, but you missed. There we go. Keep it coming with the missed puns. I love it. Good stuff. You just found the cheapest concert tickets ever. All right. Yay, perfect timing. The bottom stove is ready and I'm gonna put these in. It's a big fat slab of cheese. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna come out a little bit, but that's okay. I'm literally just gonna wrap these around here, and how much they puff is how much they puff, and it'll be good. They can even split apart, it'll be fine. We want a little bit of meat, well, a lot of meat, a lot of cheese, and as much bread as there is. Although I did tear a hole in that one, so I'm trying to desperately patch it. We want bread around it. Come on. I stretched that one too thin. Here, let's scoot this over. We can see all the drama. Pigs in a blanket, kind of aspy. We're doing kolache dough from the freezer from August. So just a way to use it up. Irish and I and the kid went to Dallas this weekend, and we got kolaches and donuts on the way home. And we noticed the kolaches was like, they were this big, but they had a tiny little weenie, a little piece of meat in them. And so we were talking, I like it when there's like a lot of meat and you can see the end of the meat come out, because then you know it's full, as opposed to like bread, 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 oh, a little hot dog kind of thing. So this is my attempt to be more on the edge of what I like my kolaches to be, so. 50-cent Nickelback. Good one. 50 cent. All right, these are gonna go in and, whoop, not there, silly. They'll go in here. And we will pop another timer on those, which is 15. All right, so the first timer to go off in about 9 minutes will be our brownies, and we will check them out. You're trying so hard to not to send the other half of these jokes. Bora, that's fine, you totally can. I'm not gonna get most of them anyway. Oh, you don't like it when people do it to you? Yeah, I get that, but I think we'll be okay. People don't like playing first-person shooter games with Boy Scouts because they're always camping. Nice. Theater Tech, you all right? Between Dallas and Houston, I like picking up barbecue at the Shell in Centerville. We ended up, well, we got Shipley's on the way out because it was close to my aunt's house. And then we ended up stopping at the Madisonville Buc-ee's, which on a weekday, like when I go up to visit my aunt usually, it's, you know, it's not crazy, but I forget. On weekends, it's absolutely always crazy. I haven't stopped at that Shell in a long time. Hey, Krem. Hello. I know I'm catching up on chat and I'm late. I apologize. Bora, why can't a chicken coop have more than 2 doors if it had 4 doors? It would be a chicken sedan. Woody Smokehouse. Yes, that's right, Geek Boy. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't think I've actually stopped there for that. Krem, you streamed today? Or Chef Steve? Buc-ee's, Boro, yes. Buccees, yeah, Aspen Eater has it right. You've gotten gas in Madisonville, but that's it. It's chaos, it's huge. To mess with us, thanks, Boro, appreciate it. My kid actually looked up, she was curious, and so she said, you know, why is it called Buc-ee's? And apparently the guy who started it, his nickname was Beaver, and so it's Bucky the Beaver, like that's his thing. Thought that was pretty cool. You tried to come up with a carpentry pen that would work. You thought you nailed it, but nobody saw it. Oh gosh, good one. Hi, Anna Lee, how are you? How are things going? Were you flying earlier with the boys? I thought I heard Irish talking to you. Maybe it was about he was learning to fly something new. I don't know which one it is. 13 French toast done, 10 eggs Benedict, and 14 breakfast burritos. You are wild. Theater Tech, you're like, are you secretly a robot? Just like a chef robot? That's fantastic. Eggs Benedict, actually, when you get it going, it's pretty quick, isn't it? French toast, yeah, maybe. Depends on how long they soak though, right? Breakfast burritos, I can do breakfast burritos pretty fast. I've done a lot of those. But good for you, you just nailed it. Cappy, you couldn't believe your dad was stealing from his job as a road worker, but when I got home, all the signs were there. Oh, brisket sandwiches are so good, Irish, but they're so expensive. I was like, I'll just get a fruit cup. Chef Steve was on his way, so he did an embed of his stream in yours while you streamed from your kitchen as he drove down. Awesome. That's so cool, Krem. Am I not following you? Do I not get notifications? Oh, okay. I was like, it said follow for a second, but now I am. Okay. I'll just pay more attention. You did time in Texas basic. You hate it forever. Oh, Boro. I get it. It happens. Theater tech shall now be known as Mr. Roboto. Oh, I love you, SB. Thank you for the lurk. Stick. Wait, what are we talking about? Sticks? Like the band or the river? Oh, Irish knows all about all the army stuff. Talk about the thing. I would never have made it. I would just cry in a corner or go crazy, like I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I probably would not have, but it feels like that. Lackland Air Force. Because of the airfield, right? I'm making stuff up again. Don't listen to me. Capio, good night. See you next time. I appreciate all the chat we had. It was really fun. And the puns, of course. Boro was first for puns, but you are definitely coming up right beside. So that's amazing. Geek Boy, when you first moved to Texas, your stepmom grew up in El Paso. Explained how we were allowed to say she, it. Correct. Yes. If you're going to say it Texan. San Antonio, yes. Yes. I thought so, Bora. For some reason, like, it's my Jeopardy brain. I'll just be like, I heard that. That makes me think of something else. Therefore, this is my conclusion. And sometimes I'm right, so. Cool. What? Somebody was making Air Force jokes the other day. And I cannot tell you for the life of me if it was in person, on Discord, or in chat or something. I think it was Irish and somebody else. All right, rinsing off the cutting board and my hands. Dishwasher is almost full, yay! All right, where are we at? 3 minutes on brownies, 10 minutes on kolaches. Good, all right, cooling racks. That was the joke, Chair Force. Yes, Irish, thank you. In the Navy, we called Air Force wing nuts. Does anyone need to make an Air Force joke? Just look at them, at least they're in Navy. Okay. I joke about the Air Force all the time because my ex is in the Chair Force. Oh, Geek Boy, yeah. San Antonio is really, they've got a lot of great stuff. But there was somebody on TikTok talking about Yelp reviews for different places, and one was about Texas, and it was something about how sus the waterway or the water walk is in San Antonio. The best restaurant is there, but Irish will tell you what it is because I forgot the name of it already. It was Anna, okay. Chair Force isn't a joke, it was just honest. I was a chairborne ranger. Dude, if you can get it, take it, right? I like walking, probably not as much as any of the branches of the military would have made me walk, so. We stole his hat when we were married and never gave it back. Yes, winning. Thank you all for all your service that any of you have done. Whether it's US or not, like, good for you. I did not do any. I have no experience with any of that, but I definitely appreciate that there are people who will do that. I'll make you food while you do it. Made it almost 4 years, stage 4 cancer. Yeah, good reason to no longer be able to do that kind of thing. Stage 4. The triple nickel, I don't want to ask about that. Oh, 555 unit. That's a cool name, makes sense. All right, I will use these for the kolaches in buffalo. Is it a pun on a buffalo nickel? Y'all are you just chat. I'm gonna be like, I recognize I don't know what y'all are talking about. That's fine. All right, I do have, oh, no, that's not gonna fit in the dishwasher. That is okay. That is okay. While you were having a lovely conversation amongst yourselves, I'm gonna go see who is on. It was an honor to serve. Irish is a good guy. Y'all are all good people. They thought it was going to be terminal, but you got lucky and beat the odds. That's amazing. So high VA disability rating for you. Yeah. No, don't shut up. Why would you do that? You guys talk about it. I just have nothing to add. Oh, it's in Washington State, which makes sense since you live in Seattle. Oh. There's somebody playing a game called You Suck at Parking. I feel like everybody in Houston should be playing that game. Minnesota Taz is on. ITIS meal prep. All right, time for the truth of the brownies. Going to alert Chef Steve just left, and I have a ton to do. Absolutely. Thank you, Creme, for being here. Very cool. There's a lot to be thankful for, Irish. Anybody who survives cancer, I feel, is amazing, just immediately, because it's easy to not, you know? All right, let me... Yep, done. Where are my instructions? What do I do now? How do I cool it? It does not say. Well, because this is a lovely thick pan and I don't want it to overcook, I had a leaky corner. One little leaky corner. Ooh, it's so hot. Good night, Bora. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. You got nausea level? Yes, yes. I know, go. Thank you for being, for putting up with that, for getting through that to be here. You never have to be here if it's too much, right? You're still a valued part of our community. And that goes for all of you. If you can't be here for whatever reasons, that's okay. You're not gonna get in trouble. Everything's good. Aww. You kept waiting for our say back in him. Oh, dang. World War II. You too, you're so funny. All right, this is too hot to put on top of anything. And here's our big smear of chocolate so that I could glue down the parchment. It looks very foamy. I'm super intrigued. I'm not supposed to cut it yet. We're just gonna cheat. I've used that word so many times this time. That's okay. Here. You see how bubbly it is here? I've never really seen another brownie like that, so I'm curious. Okay, so when I pull it out, it's still hot. It looks cakey, but what it might very well do as it cools is collapse in on itself, which would be great because then it will be fudgy. But the bottom is definitely cakey. Oh, it's quite hot in my esophagus. It's really good. It's really nice. All chocolate, a little tiny bit of salt. Has that weird sponginess to it. All right, I'm gonna let it cool. We'll check in again tomorrow. I'll have one as a snack on stream. So, jury's out for now. Not sure how this is gonna be. So, that done. Don't choke on the crumbs. There we go. We're gonna go pop over and say hi to Mama Huevos. She's super fun. High energy, really cool. So hang out if you wanna hang out with her. If you don't, that's okay too. I'm gonna go get these kolaches out in a minute and eat the dinners. So I will see y'all here tomorrow, assuming that I'm okay and the internet's okay. So as usual, I appreciate y'all very much. And in the meantime, my Discord is up. So again, if you need you want to share anything, you want to hang out, or if you need anybody to talk to and want to send a personal message and just vent so that mom can listen and tell you that things can be hard, but we're going to be okay, then I'm available for that too. All right, bye friends. I can't type. This is the quiet times. All right, here we go. Thanks again. Bye.